So you have the situation where your knees are pointing in, or you have bow-leggedness, and you're not really happy about it because of knee issues or even the looks. So is there something you can do about that? That's the subject of this video. Stay tuned. Okay, so clearly, when it comes to alignment, any type of misalignment, genetic or not, plays a role in what the future of that joint will look like. So if this bone is your thigh bone, and this bone is your leg bone, like so, in case of bow-leggedness, there is a tendency for this bone to be bowed this way and come here. And it's easier for the inside of the knees to be hurt. Sometimes it's the outside of the knees, and with prolonged life comes both sides. So the question is there anything I can do to minimize the amount of damage down the road? And the answer is yes. Because as we age, the musculature, the tone of the muscles change. And when that changes, the strength and the amount of grip they have on the bones changes as well. So one of the things I recommend you do is to sit against the wall. So I'm gonna bend forward and not move myself this way, but with my legs straight, bend forward and scoot all the way to the edge of the floor, the corner where my butt is against that very bottom portion. Now, without shifting that way, I bring my torso up and I try to fill in the gap in my lower back against the wall. Now, with my shoulder blades laying flat against the wall, instead of rolling forward like so, I am going to spread my lower extremity from my groin to my foot as wide as the width of my pelvis. So I'm just gonna go do so. In these pants you can't see, so it's best to have shorts on if you can. You wanna make sure that the middle of your kneecap, the middle of your groin, and your ankle joints are on the same line. When you do that, the next thing is to look at the positioning of your ankles and make sure that one foot is not tilted to one side versus the other, whatever different versions of it is, as you may find. If there is a discrepancy, you don't want to move these bigger areas of the body for something that has to do with the ankle joint. So let's say my ankle is tilted that way. I'm going to engage the muscles of my feet to fix that problem. So I'm not going to go do that. I'm going to hold on to my ankle and start playing with the muscles of my feet to fix that rotation there. Keeping both feet at about 90 degrees, making sure my kneecaps and the groin are on the same line. I can do the evaluation. Let's say my kneecap is more on the inside. So think about it. If my kneecap is facing inward, that means the muscles that are attached to the outside of my kneecap are not doing a good enough job bringing it central. So that doesn't mean I'm going to move my butt or anything. These are subtle movements of musculature, contraction, subtle contraction of the muscles. So these muscles are not just here. You don't have any muscle that starts here and ends here. It starts above. So it requires hip, the ball inside the socket movement, contraction of your side of your butt muscles to help bring the kneecap more centrally located. If you can't bring it exactly to the middle, you work towards it. You go day after day working at it until you start building the strength, so these muscles holding on to the kneecap will bring them back to the center. Now that that's happening, My goal here is to glide. As simple as it is, it's actually challenging. Without changing or compromising my positioning of my torso, I want to, from the very top of my groin, I want to track my ankle under my knee to the middle of my groin and place my foot down without letting my knee going out or in, keeping it nice and steady. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Bring it up and gliding it, putting the foot down, now lifting and reversing. This is a very, very simple thing to do, and yet when you do it slowly, it's very easy to do it incorrectly. A lot of times people think exercise means you gotta be sweating and you need to be loading the joint. But when you can perform a simple task properly, that is your exercise. So you gotta understand the concept. Thank you for watching. Take care.